real quick. How are we all this evening? Okay, sound check. Everybody can hear me? Hello, ladies. How are we all today? Right. We're going to tonight. I think we're going to go through some editing for you ladies who want to know how to edit different things. Or if you've got any questions, then that's fine. I don't mind. Like my new microphone. Okay, so let's have a look. What have we got? Okay, so not that one. Close this, open this, and oh, just twizzle this around. There's my fancy mic. So yeah, thought it would help. Got myself a new ring light, so we've got everybody's here, the whole gang's here. It's wonderful, wonderful. Okay, so let's just make sure we're all good here. Yeah, we're okay. And the volume is okay. Great. So let's go, and I've found a website that people might find interesting. It is called Text Studio, and it has so many cool like effects that you could use. You could just type in some text that you want. So let's just pick, say, this one. Okay, that's for the premium members. So we'll go on this one, and then we type in there. So what should we type in? And you just see how cool it looks. So yeah, I think that is a really cool website for people who are looking to edit some of the texts differently. There is also a really, in fact, let's go with, so we've got Wondershare, which I do like. We've got CapCut, which I know a lot of people do use. And we've got DaVinci Pro, which is really good for editing, but it's not very user friendly at the beginning. It's not great for people who are just looking to learn, because the interface is not as friendly as CapCut or Filmora. But it's more, you can tweak the finer details of things. So which would people like to see first? In fact, let's open DaVinci Resolve, and I'll show you just how complicated this program looks. So we are going here. have a look here. Yeah, so this is the, if you open just a new project, you can just give it any names. And then this is the, like the interface. And it can scare a lot of people because if you're not like familiar with things like this, it can be like quite daunting. But basically, you just go in and you would just pull this down onto the timeline, and then you'd pull it all the way back to the beginning. And then once it's actually in the timeline, you've got your usual buttons to move the screen along. But yeah, it's there. First of all, let me be polite. Does anybody have any questions so far? Okay, let's go with, starting with DaVinci Resolve. One of the projects that I was working on, or that I am working on, is, let's go and open this one. So you've got a lot of stock footage here, and if you like, you can see you've got all your media down in the, what they call the media bin, which is just here, and you can have it all in like separate folders. So you've got your audio in one folder, you've got all your movies and different things in another corner, and without even putting anything into your timeline, you can just scroll over it to see which clips you want to use first. Which I did have a good birthday, Karen. Yes, let's have a look. So we went to go-karting. I think there was 8 people racing. I finished first, obviously. And we did bowling. I won that. We did crazy golf. I won that. And we also did like a virtual reality shooting game, which I finished second in that one. But yeah, it's been a good day. Just had a nice. Thank you everybody for liking the video. It does mean a lot. Right, DaVinci Resolve, the best feature in DaVinci Resolve. I mean, you've got like all your keyframes up here for like little zooms in, zooms out. Now, if you go, you've got your little different folders here. Now, these are like different programs. Like you've got your editing and your over here. So if you wanted to say add some keyframes in and do like little zoom ins, you could just click on like a keyframe and then just look at the different like options that you have just in your keyframes. So say we put a keyframe in there, okay, and that's at the beginning of the clip. So then we move forward just say a few little seconds, and we want to zoom in, say, just like that. And then we would put the keyframe there for that. So you can see at the beginning here, you've got one keyframe and another keyframe just there. Okay, let me just check the chat, make sure I'm not going too fast for anybody. Yes, I picked all the activities, except for the crazy golf. That's one that Mary wanted to do. So we did that one as well. Right, Miriam, DaVinci Resolve is very similar to Premiere Pro. They are like the two industry standards. So people in Hollywood, they use DaVinci Pro or they use Premiere Pro, DaVinci Resolve. But what I've done with this, sorry, I was talking about keyframes, wasn't I? So yeah, you can see if we just take this keyframe here and we can take it off if we needed to, and then as it moves along, so we get to this one here and we can say, okay, we want to zoom in over here, and you can move the screen like left and right if you need to, and that will like adjust the screen to how you want it to be. And you've got you can give all your little keyframes different. You've got different colors, so you know which keyframe is like turning it, which keyframe is maybe doing your zooming action. So if you play it along, you see how you're zooming in on this second keyframe. Now, if we drag this keyframe down our clip, it becomes a slow, it becomes a slow zoom. And it stops there, but we can move it all the way down here if we want to and just have it zooming in even slower, or move it closer in for a faster, like, you know, zoom effect like that. It's all like you've got your dynamic zoom here, so you can say like, do you want it to ease into a zoom? But this is the magic of DaVinci Resolve, this little folder here. Okay, so this is the media that is playing here, and it's going, if we move this just up there for now, okay, and we put this one, so connecting this into here, cancel this one, right, so these are your inputs, the little blue highlighters here, and these are your outputs, the little squares, okay, and these are called nodes, and you can like move them around the screen however you want. So if you connect this to this, okay, here's the media at the moment, okay, and it's just people arriving at the house in the bicycles. Now, what I've done is, by adjusting the brightness and the contrast just a little bit, if we then put this in, so we have to route it through, this is where the media starts here on media in, and then you've got your media out, okay, so our output going into the input, and then the output from the brightness and contrast into there. So what we now get is the whole scene just looks like almost if it was shot at night time, as opposed to if we take that out, there's the real, like, what the shot looks like. But it is just so in depth in terms of what you can do with it. In fact, I don't know if that was. Could you all see what I was doing there? Was I sharing the correct screen? Oh, okay, right. My bad, ladies. Let me. This is the one. Here we go. Okay, so this window here is our media as it is. Okay, we have the input here and the output over here. Now, if we was to take this, the brightness and contrast, and just move that in between them, so make sure that I am actually sharing the right screen. Yes, I am. Okay, right. So you can see we've got the media coming in, the media starting here at the media in. We have the brightness and contrast here. We're telling the footage that we want to apply this particular effect and then send it to the output. And then if we go and we just adjust the sliders, so we just take the gain down, we can take the gamma down a little bit, and you can see it starts to look like a nighttime or like an early evening scene. And then you've got the window over here, which, let me just double check which one it is. Yep. So where are we going? Okay. Yeah. So this is how you can change little things, and you can add in other effects onto this. So this, the fast noise, it's like a cloud or fog. So if we were to push this and say, okay, we want, once it's gone through the brightness, we then want to go into the fast noise to apply a different feature to that. And then what that does is it will, have we got the right one here? There we go. So yeah, we can, it will let us add a layer of fog basically into the scene, and you can just move all these around and they'll like interact with each other in like different ways. But like I said, this is quite complicated for people who are not used to this program, and it does have a very steep this program is, so the program that I'm using there is called DaVinci Resolve, and using your phone instead of a DSLR doesn't really make a difference, because it's smartphones these days are just as good as £1,000, £2,000 cameras. A lot of people use the Sony ZVE10, which is like a £600 camera with a flip screen. But you by no means need to use that software and use those like cameras. Your smartphone cameras are more than good enough. So yeah, that is DaVinci Resolve, and like I said, the learning curve on that is very steep. I watched a tutorial video teaching how to use DaVinci Resolve, and the video was 5 hours long, just going through each section of what all the buttons do. Not everybody wants to learn video editing that advanced just for doing simple edits. Like a lot of our channels don't need I am using just the YouTube Live Studio. I'm not using OBS, I'm not using StreamYard, I am using purely YouTube Live and the YouTube Studio. So when you go live just using the YouTube Live rather than an alternative like StreamYard or Restream or OBS, you've got the option to share the screen, and like you can share whatever you want really. You can choose like if you want to share little windows or just entire screens, whatever. So to put me in the corner, it's just sharing the screen, and then the screen that I'm sharing, it just makes that the biggest screen. But you do have options to like with the layout and things like that. I have also, because I want to be quite smart, so I have already, like 2 days ago, before I even started the stream, I have already put 2 moderators in place, and that is Mrs. Paula is one of them, and Susan is the other one, who I have just added those in as moderators for the channel and for the stream. So yes, just using the YouTube Studio it's easy to do, and you can do it directly from your webcam, or you can do it like with a stream key from StreamYard or from OBS. But that's the thing, you don't have to use StreamYard or OBS. You can just use YouTube on its own, just open up your webcam and then use everything like that. Yeah, if you need any like help with what you can do, then I'm more than happy to like help anybody out. What I wanted to do is, let me go here. No, that's fine. So if there is any, I can, everybody knows how to use CapCut, I'm pretty sure. Miriam, that's fine. I did a video call on WhatsApp with Alison just a few days ago because she was having some technical issues, and she asked could she video call me so I could walk her through it, and she did, and it was, we weren't able to solve it because she needed to wait like 15, 16 hours for to get the resolution. But if it wasn't for that wait period, then we would have been able to fix that. What I have an option of doing is, if we go into, if I open up this here, so what I can do is there is an app, and this is the app, and it's called Chrome Remote Support. Okay, so with this program, I can connect to another computer. So I could say, Miriam, if you was having problems with your computer, you could get in touch. I could connect to your computer and then try and fix your issue for you. You would be able to see everything that I was doing, and you could just like take control of just take back control at any time you wanted to. So yeah, this is what I use a lot to support my mum, because she's not very good with technical stuff. So if she's having a problem with her computer, she'll ring me and say, can you connect to my computer and sort this out? Usually to connect to another computer takes like, maybe if they've got that program installed, it takes maybe 20 seconds to connect to the computer. And what that does is it gives me basically it gives me control of your mouse, so I can like navigate through your computer, open up like your settings, open up Google Chrome to see what the problem is, whatever that problem is that you may be having. And while I'm doing that, you can see what I am doing. And so, I'm not like doing anything like nefarious or going into any files that is like private or anything like that. It, just so I am only doing what you're asking me to help you out with. So yeah, that is one thing that when I do start my own school community, that is one of the things that I will be offering, is the option to remote support somebody, like I showed you is possible on that, using that app. So yeah, there's so many things that you can do to help people who are not as technically savvy as other people, and a lot of the times it's just like a setting that they need to change. I know Evie was in the chat earlier, and she was having a problem with her camera, and it was just I think it was a setting that she needed to just go into and change. And but when I'm not able to actually see the screen and see what settings and camera settings she's got, it's hard to accurately say, yes, this is your problem. You just need to change this and move over to that one. Karen, have you had problems with StreamYard? Because I know that's the one that Karen uses a lot, like every week. And yeah, iPhones are really good. I haven't had an iPhone since the very first iPhone. I switched to Samsung, and I've just always been with Samsung. But yeah, see, with as Carol said, she has a very structured thing. Like, she goes live at the same time every week, usually the same number of guests, and you know, they can each like share a screen, as I've just been doing. For things like that, it is really good, and you can add like you can have all the chat text appearing on the screen so everybody can see what everybody else is saying. Even if you're streaming to 5 different YouTube channels, you can see what everybody in those 5 chats are saying. So that has been, I think that's a good option, but I don't, considering this is my first live, I wasn't going to pay, I think it was like $40 a month to use something that I don't know if I need at this stage. If I'm not hosting like a big group session, and then do I need to be paying $40 for something like that? Probably not. But, you know, if I feel like it has some features that I want that YouTube Studio doesn't have, because I know it does have a lot of features, like being able to add your own like channel. If you have channel logos, you can have those just on the camera the whole time in the corner. So the overcharging people, that's a bit low. So what other streaming options do people like to use? I've used OBS in the past when I was doing, when my channel was just a gaming channel. I used OBS for that. And I did originally have this stream set up in StreamYard, but there was something about it that I wasn't all that happy with. So I just said, no, I'll just do it on YouTube Studio. And yeah, OBS, the thing with OBS is, for everything that you want to have appear on the screen, you have to add like a separate source thing for that. So like, if you want to have if you want to share the camera, like share your webcam, that's one source. If you want to do a screen share, you need to add that in as a second source. If you want to then capture audio from your microphone, that's another source that you've got to all. It's not as user friendly as StreamYard is. But a lot of people tend to use Streamlabs because that is a good alternative. My chair is slowly going down. Let me just, there we go, raise this up a bit. See, I look so much taller now. Yeah, so they're the main. I have seen. I looked at Restream. Oh, absolutely. Using. I'm gonna. I'm looking at. I've been doing like a broad scope over the whole like YouTube landscape. Okay, so let's look at what we are spending. YouTube Premium. Say Canva Pro, if you're using Canva Pro. Then StreamYard. Then so you've got your YouTube Premium, your CapCut Pro if you're using CapCut, or DaVinci Pro, or whatever. So you're doing something just for you, which is your YouTube Premium, so you don't have to have all adverts for stuff like that. Then you need, you tend to have a Canva Pro subscription just so you can have like the background removal tool. Then whichever video editing you're using, you're kind of drawn into paying for the pro version of that, just so you've got like different video editing templates, different AI tools. Then you may be paying for streaming software as well. So you've got like 5 different things that you're paying just to run your YouTube channel. And if there's places where we can find free things, then I think that is, well, Nexus Clips, yeah, that's another one for shorts. Although you can do shorts with like CapCut, and a program that I like that I don't think a lot of people have seen or have used in terms of like video editing is it's called Wondershare Filmora. It's very user friendly, just like CapCut, and it has so many like cool AI features, like auto generating music. But the thing that I like most about Filmora, which I have not seen from any of the other editing software, is in the Filmora software, when you open it up. Let me tell you what, let me go in here, and is it this one? No, it's this one. Oh, so this is Filmora, okay, and as you can see, it's not nearly as daunting as the other one is, but what makes Wondershare so good is if you go into click here and go into your creator hub, okay, learning, you've got tutorials built into the studio, color grade like a pro, masking, titles, keyframes, and like you can say, okay, I want to learn AI music, tutorials on how to do different podcasts, ambient, it's whatever you need help with. Say filming better, look at all the tutorials built into the the software itself. And then down here, you've got all your different, let's just open up like a new project. So yeah, say you want to do your important an image or a video or something, like, let me go where it's this one. Yeah, let's pick the one. So the same video that I used in the earlier, you see, it's so clear, and you've got your like your different editing presets if you want them. But let's go into the AI stuff, or the, like, look, popular eye-catching 3-second intros, brand transmission. There's just like so many cool things that you can do. I used, I do like this one, and say you just to put that in there, okay? And then you wanted to make it a bit longer. Like, there's just cool effects in all of it. But I've never seen any other software that was I in that? That's, here it is. So yeah, this is the Filmora like software, and you can see how user friendly it is. Okay, it has, let me just go back into the so if we go, as I was mentioning about the, let's close this. No, not there. Right. So I have to keep going in now and checking that I'm still sharing the screens with you. Okay. So this is the Creator Hub, and the learning, as you can see there. So you've got tutorials for anything built into the app or built into the software. So, you're getting started and you're not like sure how to use the things, or you want to do something, you can just click on the tutorials and excuse me, it will go through and show you how to make all the cool little things. Yeah, I just think it's a great piece of software. And let's go back into the learning, and would you like to see anything in particular in the learning tab? Later, Candy K, thank you for joining. I mean, using AI, using color grading, there's like so many. This one I find beauty edits. I think there might be, probably is one for that. But like this one, like it's only a 10-minute video, but you see, it will teach you how to do whatever you want in the software. Now, if you're using, say, Premiere Pro, Filmora is free without a watermark, yes. Let me go in and show you, Karen. So, yeah, these are all the AI tools. Like, I mean, could you want anything more? Auto reframe, music generation, you know, all the different things in there. So let's have a look how much the Filmora is. I believe it's like £15 a month. But I could be wrong on that one. Let's go in and have a look. Okay, so there you go, $20 a month, and that's like the effects and the plugin thing. So this is what I have at the moment, which is the basic program. If I wanted to go with an upgrade or something like that, I can just go in and it'll tell me like $25, and you get like the standard stock, the AI portrait. So basically you get all the free AI, well, all the AI tools for $20 a month. So, you know, like I said, it's CapCut is free, but there's also a pro version which you can pay for. Filmora for me is every bit as good as CapCut, but yeah, you're paying maybe a few dollars more per month, but CapCut doesn't have all those tutorials in there that Filmora does. Premiere Pro doesn't have tutorials built into the software that I am aware of. And it's just so easy to like pick up and just play around with. And if you think back to when I was going through the Wondershare, the DaVinci Resolve, I watched a 5-hour video learning how to use that software, and I was still fumbling around with it, trying to do simple things like changing a scene from daytime to nighttime just by moving a couple of settings around. So it's very, I would not recommend DaVinci Resolve for beginners or people who don't want or don't need super like controls to do minute little details. For the videos that we do, like mainly talking head videos like this, you don't need DaVinci Resolve. You don't need Premiere Pro. I think it's Final Cut Pro. I can't comment on that because it's only for Mac and iPhones, so I'm not that guy. But for me, I wouldn't like that just because it's purely for one platform and it's not available to everybody. So for me, if you're not using Canva for your videos as well as thumbnails, then it's either CapCut or Filmora. They're the two best options. Oh, Georgia fam in the house. So, hands up, who's going to be who's never heard of Filmora and who is now going to look at it and maybe watch a few of the tutorials and see if it's something that you might want to use as an alternative. Because, you know, I have on this computer, I have DaVinci Resolve, CapCut, and Filmora. But that's because like, advice I would give to people is start with CapCut. Then once you're like familiar and comfortable with CapCut, then go on to Filmora, which is basically the same, but maybe a little bit more. And only then, once you've like watched all the tutorials that you want to watch and you feel like you can edit a video the way you want to edit a video. If you want to do slow zooms, fast zooms, like if you want animated text popping in, popping out, like, and you can do that, then you might want to look at going to DaVinci Resolve, because I've seen videos like where there's like a little road on the screen, a bit like a little bending road down a mountain, and there's text following the road going down the mountain, but like the text is moving down the road, following the road, which I've found really cool. So that is what DaVinci Resolve gives you. Is it's the next step up. But it's a big learning curve for DaVinci Resolve compared to CapCut and Filmora, which are basically plug in and play. I agree. Your editing abilities will determine what program you want to use, but also how much you want to pay for what you get. If you wanted to go to the pro versions of whichever software you're using. On Wondershare and CapCut, at the moment, I just use the free versions, but I am going to pick one. It'll probably be Wondershare and just go for the pro version of that one. Yeah, iMovie, like I said, I think iMovie's the one, and Final Cut are the ones that are just, you can only use them if you've got a Mac or an iPhone. Yeah, you see, if you've used Premiere Pro, then you'll be okay with DaVinci Resolve. Where DaVinci Resolve is different to the others, including Premiere Pro and iMovie, is in DaVinci Resolve, when you go onto the what they call the Fusion page, which is where you add different, like, you know, you adjust all the little intricate things on the videos. Those are called nodes, and a lot of people find that they can be frustrating to get a hang of and use. But yeah, like I said, that version of, or the version of Filmora, it's that I've got, it's, you know, well, I say it's free. I think like back in 2017, I think I paid like £35 for like a lifetime thing for a few more little. To be honest, it was that long ago that I don't even know what I actually paid for now. Like if I was trying to think back and say, yeah, I paid this to get this, I know it was around £35, but I don't know. Oh, I think that was for like, no, it's gone. You can look at the software, and it will tell you, like with the different options. I do believe DaVinci Filmora is watermark free, but that might have been what I paid for in 2017, was like to export the films without the watermark. So yeah, I would definitely say just um, go onto Google, type it in, and look at it. Go onto YouTube, look at some of the tutorials, and see if you like the user interface, see if you like what it has to offer, because I think it's got quite a lot. I was blown away just by the tutorials that are in there. And I'm like, why don't other programs use this? And those tutorials, a lot of those are made by YouTubers who Filmora have said, I like that. We're going to use that in our software. So they're not all of the tutorials, they're not all like Filmora affiliates or work for Filmora. A lot of those are just YouTubers who use Filmora and do tutorials on how to use the software. And if Filmora thinks the tutorials are good, they put them on the thing. But I know Filmora does have a YouTube channel that has like a ton of stuff on there. So, yeah, it's YouTube's over 60. Thank you very much. It has been great to have you here. I think for me, I think Filmora is the slightly better option just because of the tutorials that teaches you what to do. 88 years old, starting a YouTube channel. That's cool. That is cool. What would the channel be about? Electric trike and filming his rides. That, you know what? That's almost like ASMR, like therapeutic. There's videos, there's channels that have like a GoPro, just somebody like wearing a GoPro and they're just jogging like mountains, ranges, just so the person can feel like they are jogging through that scenery. So that could be a very popular channel. absolutely. He's bought an Action 5 Pro. You see, I there's a lot of therapeutic channels, and I think they are so good, especially for like, excuse me, relaxing and just, chilling. Like my main, if I want to watch something that's relaxing and just, chill, I'll watch restoration videos, like people finding old rusted, like say rusted old rifle, like a World War II rifle, or an old like hatchet that's all rusted, and they'll restore it like and make it like new. Or piano music. I'll just put like YouTube music on, put some piano music on, some Ludico and Yaudi, or some Urema, and I'll just listen to like classical music or piano music. I do like Mozart, Moonlight Sonata. That is an absolute quality piece of music, but that's just me. So, does anybody have any other questions or anything that they would like to talk about? How has all your days been? We've got, well, I've been going for an hour. That's cool. Georgia fan, sorry. I am just using purely YouTube. I'm not using StreamYard. I'm not using OBS. This is just, everything is being done just with YouTube Live Studio. So um, you would go onto the YouTube Studio and click the little plus button and click to go live. And in fact, I'll show you. Let me go here. So let me go in here. Is it this one? Yeah. Okay, so what you would do is just, let me make sure that this is actually, yeah. So what you would do is just go over here, create, go live, and then just click on webcam, and that's all you need to do. You can schedule it. You can choose whatever things you want to do. Like I scheduled this one, and as you can see, like I'm not. Oh, sorry. Let me just. So, yeah, you just go click the webcam, and away you go. So, right, it is 10 o'clock. So, I'm going to call it a night, everybody. And I want to thank everybody for coming and hanging out. It has been not as nerve-wracking, not as intimidating as I thought it might be. And yeah, it's been fun. It's been fun. And I love you guys so much. So, yes, I will see you all. Let's say we'll do it like Karen does. We'll do it once a week. So I'll schedule the next one. It'll probably be, yeah, let's say next Sunday. Probably the same time. So yes, thank you very much, everybody. I will see you all in the next stream.